Captain Maya Chen stared at the tactical display, her dark eyes reflecting the holographic projection of Earth surrounded by a swarm of red markers. Each hostile indicator represented a Vex collective warship, their numbers overwhelming the planet's remaining defenses. The bridge of the UNSS Thunderchild fell silent as crew members processed the gravity of their situation. "Status report," Maya demanded, her voice steady despite the circumstances. Commander Eli Rodriguez looked up from his console. "Not good, Captain. The Atlantic Defense Fleet is gone. Pacific Command reports their last 3 cruisers lost. We're all that's left." Maya allowed herself one deep breath. 2 months ago, Earth boasted a defense fleet of over 100 vessels. Now only the Thunderchild remained, hiding in Saturn's rings, running silent while humanity faced extinction. "What about the evacuation?" she asked. Lieutenant Sato at Communications shook her head. "The colony ships need 18 more hours before they can reach the jump point, Captain. They're still loading civilians." 18 hours. That was all the time remaining for the last fragments of humanity to escape while the Vex continued their methodical conquest of the solar system. A chance the Thunderchild needed to provide. "They're broadcasting again," Sato reported, fingers dancing across her console. "System-wide transmission." "Let's hear it," Maya ordered. The main view screen flickered to life, revealing the imposing figure of Archon Sextol. His crystalline exoskeleton gleamed under harsh lighting, compound eyes pulsing with bioluminescence as he stared into the camera. "People of Earth," the translation matrix converted his harmonic speech. "Your resistance has ended. Your military is annihilated. Your leaders are dead or in hiding. We require your complete surrender within 8 hours, or we will commence planetary sterilization. There will be no further communication." The transmission terminated, leaving the bridge in silence once again. 8 hours, Rodriguez muttered. "Less than half the time the evacuation ships need." Maya turned to face her crew, 43 men and women representing humanity's last organized military resistance. They were exhausted from weeks of hit-and-run operations, but determination still burned in their eyes. "Chief Engineer Patel," she called. "Is Project Prometheus operational?" Patel, a stocky woman with cybernetic implants along her temples, nodded firmly. "Yes, Captain. The quantum infiltration protocol is ready, but we still need to get within 5 kilometers of their command hub to deploy it effectively." 5 kilometers might as well be 5 light-years with the Vex blockade, Rodriguez noted grimly. Maya turned to Dr. Amelia Novak, the civilian scientist who had developed the Prometheus protocol. "You're certain this will work?" The quantum physicist looked up, fatigue evident in her eyes after days without proper rest. "In theory, Captain. Once inserted into their central node, Prometheus can penetrate their entire network. Every ship, every system connected to their command structure will be compromised." "In theory," Maya repeated, not exactly the reassurance she wanted. "It's more than theory," Novak insisted. "The Thunderchild was retrofitted specifically for this purpose. Your ship isn't just a warship. It's the most sophisticated cyber warfare platform ever created. The Vex standardized their systems across their entire fleet. One vulnerability becomes all vulnerabilities." Maya studied the tactical display, an idea forming. It was desperate, beyond risky, but they had run out of options. "Lieutenant Camara," she addressed her tactical officer, "what's the status of our stealth systems?" "Operational but degraded after the skirmish at Jupiter, Captain. We can maintain full stealth for maybe 35 minutes before heat buildup becomes critical." "Not long enough to slip through their entire blockade undetected," Maya concluded. "And if we were to blend in?" The bridge crew exchanged confused glances, but Camara understood immediately. "You mean masquerade as one of their support vessels? That could work. Their outer patrol ships have similar mass signatures to ours. If we could capture and replicate their identification codes." Maya nodded and moved to the center of the bridge. "Listen carefully, everyone. I have a plan." For the next hour, They prepared. The strategy was dangerous but conceptually simple. The Thunderchild would ambush an isolated Vex scout ship, capture its identification codes, then disguise itself as a returning patrol vessel to infiltrate the heart of the Vex fleet where their command hub orbited Earth. All stations report ready, Rodriguez announced as Maya returned to the command chair. Very well. Helm, plot an intercept course for the outer patrol. Tactical, power weapons, but hold fire until my command. Communications, prepare to jam any outgoing signals from our target. The Thunderchild slipped out from Saturn's rings, its stealth systems engaged as it accelerated toward the outer perimeter of the Vex invasion force. A lone scout ship patrolled the sector, separated from the main fleet. Target acquired. Chimera confirmed. Range, 40,000 kilometers and closing. Engineering, prepare EMP burst followed by tractor beam. We need that ship disabled but intact. As they closed to strike range, Maya felt the weight of humanity's future pressing down upon her shoulders. One mistake, one miscalculation, and all would be lost. In range, Chimera reported. EMP charged and ready. Fire, Maya ordered. The Thunderchild specialized EMP weapon discharge, sending an invisible pulse toward the unsuspecting Vex vessel. The scout ship's systems flickered momentarily before going dark, drifting powerless in space. Direct hit. Target disabled. Chimera confirmed. No distress signal detected. Tractor beam engaged. Paddle reported. We have them, Captain. For the next 20 minutes, the crew worked frantically. Specialist teams extracted the identification protocols, while engineers modified the Thunderchild's exterior profile using holographic projectors and signal modulators. Disguise complete, Patil announced. We're broadcasting Vex identification codes. As far as their systems are concerned, we're Patrol Vessel 863 returning from outer perimeter duty. Maya nodded in approval. Helm, set course for Earth. Maintain communication discipline. Everyone remember, we're a Vex vessel with minimal crew. Keep power signatures consistent with their technology profile. The Thunderchild accelerated toward Earth, now masquerading as a returning Vex patrol craft. As they approached the outer defensive ring, tension mounted on the bridge. Incoming communication from Vex Control, Sato warned. They're requesting status report. Send the automated response we prepared, Maya ordered. Keep it brief and routine. Sato transmitted the carefully crafted message, and the bridge crew held their breath collectively until the response came. They've acknowledged and provided approach vector, Sato reported with evident relief. Follow it precisely, Maya instructed the helm officer. Let's not give them any reason for suspicion. As they penetrated deeper into the Vex formation, the tactical display revealed the true scale of the invasion force. Hundreds of warships arranged in precise geometric patterns surrounded Earth, with the massive Vex command hub positioned in high orbit. My God, Rodriguez whispered. There must be over 1,000 ships. Focus on our mission, Maya reminded him. Approaching the command hub. Tactical, scan for defenses and access points. Multiple defensive batteries and patrol vessels, Chimera reported. There's a docking bay on the ventral surface that matches our current identification profile. Take us in, Maya ordered. Engineering, prepare Project Prometheus for deployment. The Thunderchild slowed as it approached the massive structure of the Vex command hub. The alien vessel dwarfed their ship, stretching nearly 5 kilometers in length with crystalline appendages radiating outward like frozen lightning. We're being directed to Docking Bay 7, Sato reported, tension evident in her voice. Follow their guidance, Maya instructed. Once we're inside, we'll have minutes at most before they realize we're not one of theirs. As the Thunderchild entered the cavernous docking bay, Maya could see dozens of Vex vessels arranged in neat rows. Crystalline maintenance drones moved among them, performing incomprehensible tasks. We're inside, Rodriguez confirmed. Docking clamps engage. Maya stood, addressing her crew one final time. This is it. Engineering team will deploy Prometheus while security provides cover. Command staff will remain on the ship to coordinate our escape. Remember your training and remember what we're fighting for. The last of humanity depends on our success today. As the airlock opened, alarms suddenly blared throughout the docking bay. On the view screen, Maya watched as Vex security forces began converging on their position. "They've discovered us," Chimera shouted, bringing weapons systems online. "Deploy Prometheus now," Maya ordered. "Security team, defensive positions. Helm, prepare for emergency departure." The battle for humanity's survival had begun, with one lone warship against an empire that had conquered entire star systems. What happened in the next few minutes would determine whether humanity perished or survived. Chaos erupted in the docking bay as Vex security forces swarmed toward the Thunderchild. Crystalline energy weapons discharged, sending shimmering blue beams slicing through the air. Security breach in Docking Bay 7. The Vex communication echoed through the captured channels. "Unknown vessel infiltration. All units respond." On the bridge, Maya made her decision instantly. "Change of plans. We can't deploy Prometheus and escape. Not now." Tactical, target their internal defense systems. Engineering, begin full power-up sequence. "Captain," Rodriguez protested, "if we power up fully within the docking bay, the energy discharge could trigger their internal safeguards," Maya finished. "Exactly. Sometimes the best way through a wall is to make the enemy tear it down themselves." As the Thunderchild's systems surged to full power, alarms throughout the Vex command hub escalated. The massive structure's automated defense systems detected the energy spike and initiated emergency protocols. "They're activating internal containment fields," Chimera reported. "Docking bay doors sealing." "Perfect," Maya smiled grimly. "Weapons, target the docking clamps. Break us free." The Thunderchild's point defense lasers fired with surgical precision, severing the alien clamps that held them in place. The ship lurched forward as the propulsion system engaged. "Structural integrity fields at maximum," Patel called out. "Brace for impact." The warship smashed through the partially closed docking bay doors, tearing through crystalline material in an explosion of fragments and energy. Warning lights flashed across every console as the shields absorbed the tremendous impact. "Hull integrity at 68%, Rodriguez reported. "We're clear of the docking bay, but we've got multiple hostiles converging." "Evasive pattern Delta," Maya ordered. "Keep us close to the command hub's surface. Their larger weapons can't target without risking damage to their own structure." The Thunderchild hugged the contours of the massive alien vessel, weaving between protruding structures while Vex interceptors pursued. Engineering teams worked frantically in the ship's core, preparing Project Prometheus for deployment. "Captain," Dr. Novak called from the science station, "we can't deploy Prometheus remotely now. The Vex will detect and counter the signal before it penetrates their systems. Someone needs to physically connect to their central core." Maya processed this information in an instant. "Where is their central core located?" Novak highlighted a section of the command hub on the tactical display. "Here, at the very center of the structure, but it's heavily defended, practically a suicide mission." "Nothing about today was going to be easy," Maya replied. "Commander Rodriguez, you have the con. Keep them distracted. I'm taking a team to deliver our package." "Captain." Rodriguez began to protest. "That's an order, Commander. Maintain evasive maneuvers and be ready for emergency extraction on my signal." Maya left the bridge, gathering a small team of combat engineers in the hangar bay. They equipped themselves with boarding gear and weapons, while Paddle made final adjustments to the Prometheus device, now housed in a portable unit the size of a briefcase. "The biolink is key to your neural pattern, Captain," Paddle explained, attaching a small interface to Maya's temple. "Once connected to their core, you'll need to maintain the connection for 30 seconds while Prometheus infiltrates their network." 30 seconds, Maya repeated. "Sounds simple enough. Except their security systems will detect the intrusion immediately," Patel added grimly. "You'll be fighting their countermeasures the entire time." Maya nodded, understanding the implications. Let's go. We have a delivery to make. The boarding pod launched from the Thunderchild's ventral bay, accelerating toward a maintenance access port on the command hub's surface. Inside, Maya and 5 crew members braced as automated defenses tracked their approach. Impact in 3, 2, 1. The pod crashed through the outer hull, magnetic clamps securing it in place as atmosphere vented explosively around them. Maya led her team through the breach, engaging Vex security forces that responded to the intrusion. This way, Maya directed, following Novik's map on her tactical display. Central core is 2 levels down. They'd fought through crystalline corridors, their weapons modified to disrupt the silicon-based technology of the Vex. As they descended deeper into the command hub, resistance intensified. "Captain, we've got a problem." Rodriguez's voice came through the comm. "The Vex fleet is breaking formation. Multiple capital ships are moving to intercept the evacuation route. They've figured out our plan." "How long until they intercept the colony ships?" Maya asked, ducking behind cover as energy blasts scorched the wall beside her. 22 minutes at current speeds. Keep the Thunderchild intact, Commander. We're almost at the core." 2 more members of her team fell to Vex defenders before they reached the central chamber, a vast spherical room dominated by a pulsating crystalline structure. Streams of energy flowed through translucent conduits, connecting to terminals throughout the space. "That's it," Maya confirmed, checking Novik's schematics. "The neural center of their entire command network." As they secured the room, a holographic projection materialized before them. Archon, Zex told himself, his form towering and distorted. "Human," he addressed Maya directly, "your species' persistence is remarkable, but ultimately futile. We have monitored your approach since Saturn. Your deception was anticipated." "If you anticipated us," Maya replied, buying time as her remaining engineers prepared Prometheus, "why allow us to penetrate this far?" "Curiosity," Zex Toll admitted. "Your species creates such interesting technological solutions despite your limitations. We wish to examine your final effort before completing our conquest." Maya smiled coldly, happy to provide one last demonstration. She nodded to her engineer, who triggered an EMP burst that temporarily disrupted the local systems. The hologram flickered and disappeared as Maya rushed forward to the central core interface, connecting the Prometheus device. "Initiating sequence," she announced, feeling the neural interface activate along her temple. "Prometheus is connecting." Pain shot through her nervous system as the device established connection through her to the Vex network. The alien systems recognized the intrusion immediately, and countermeasures flooded her consciousness with searing agony. "Captain." Her remaining team member moved to disconnect her. "No," Maya gasped. 20 more seconds. "Have to. Complete the upload." On the Thunderchild, Rodriguez watched in horror as the Vex fleet closed in on their position. "Engineering, we need more power to the shields. They're concentrating fire." "We're at maximum already," Paddle responded. "Hull integrity failing." Back in the command core, Maya fought through excruciating pain as Prometheus penetrated deeper into the Vex network. Through her neural link, she could sense the alien intelligence recognizing the danger too late. "Captain, we're detecting massive system instabilities throughout the Vex fleet," Sato reported. "It's working." 10 more seconds, Maya whispered, blood trickling from her nose as the neural feedback intensified. The remaining engineer protected her position, falling to the renewed Vex assault that poured into the chamber. As the final seconds counted down, Maya glimpsed Zextal's hologram reforming, his crystalline features contorted in what might have been alarm. "What have you done?" the Archon demanded. "Introduced a little chaos to your perfect system," Maya managed through gritted teeth. The Prometheus upload completed, initiating a cascading failure throughout the standardized Vex network. The command hub trembled as systems throughout the structure began failing. "Captain," Rodriguez called through the comm, "the Vex ships are losing power across the fleet. Weapons offline, propulsion failing. Maya collapsed as the neural connection terminated, the Prometheus device now fully integrated into the Vex command systems. She dragged herself toward the exit, her body racked with pain from the neural feedback. Rodriguez, she rasped into her comm. Status of evacuation ships. Clear. The Vex fleet is in complete disarray. Colony ships report successful jump preparation. Maya smiled weakly, pulling herself through the corridors as the command hub shuddered around her. Structural failures cascaded throughout the massive vessel as Prometheus rewrote core operational parameters. Captain, we're detecting critical power fluctuations in the command hub, Camera reported. You need to evacuate now. The whole structure is going to self-destruct. Maya reached the extraction point, finding her boarding pod destroyed in the fighting. Negative on extraction, Commander. No viable exit. We're coming for you, Rodriguez insisted, maintaining position at extraction coordinates. Negative, Maya countered, watching as the Vex systems around her flickered and failed. The command hub will detonate in minutes. Get the Thunderchild clear and escort those colony ships. Captain. That's an order, Commander, Maya interrupted. The mission was always a one-way trip. We all knew that. Prometheus has done its job. Now do yours. Ensure humanity survives. On the bridge of the Thunderchild, Rodriguez gripped the armrests of the command chair, anguish evident on his face. Helm, he finally ordered. Set course to rendezvous with the colony fleet. Maximum speed. As the Thunderchild pulled away, the tactical display showed the Vex command hub beginning to break apart. Throughout the system, the once mighty invasion fleet drifted powerless, their standardized systems corrupted beyond recovery by Prometheus. Maya Chen found a viewport in the failing structure, watching as her ship shrank into the distance. Beyond, she could see Earth, scared but intact. In the vastness of space, humanity's last hope was escaping, carrying the seeds of civilization to distant stars. Captain's log final entry, she whispered to her personal recorder. Project Prometheus successful. The Vex command structure has been neutralized. One ship against an empire, and humanity won. The command hub's structural integrity failed catastrophically, its power core detonating in a brilliant flash that rippled outward, enveloping the nearby Vex vessels. 6 months later, on a distant world being prepared for human settlement, Commander Rodriguez stood before the assembled colonists. Behind him towered a memorial, a sleek representation of the UNSS Thunderchild carved from local stone. Today we remember, he addressed the crowd, how a single ship and its captain changed the course of history. The Vex Collective believed their technological superiority made them invincible. They failed to understand that humanity's greatest strength isn't in our weapons or our ships. He placed his hand on the memorial plaque, which bore a simple inscription, UNSS THUNDRCH. Captain Maya CHEN. Our strength lies in our willingness to sacrifice everything for our future. One ship against an empire seemed impossible odds. But Captain Chen proved that humanity's determination can overcome any obstacle, any enemy, no matter how vast their numbers or advanced their technology. He looked up at the unfamiliar stars of their new home. Let this be our first lesson on this new world. Never underestimate what a single brave action can accomplish. The impossible becomes possible when we refuse to surrender. As night fell on humanity's new beginning, the memorial stood bathed in moonlight, a permanent reminder that one lone warship had defied an empire and won humanity's future.